My top 5 favorite UFC fighters of all time. I'm not going to lie, this was my hardest top 5 thus far, and for very good reason, to decide who are my favorites and why. Number 5, the current heavyweight champion Stipe Miocic. Not only has he defended the heavyweight belt more than anyone ever in the organization, he is without a doubt the greatest heavyweight of all time. A lot of people could mention Fedor this, Fedor that, and I love Fedor and I love the legacy Fedor had, but it is undeniable what Stipe has done and what he probably would have done to Fedor if they were to face each other in their prime. His battles with Daniel Cormier are nothing short of legendary. The way he was losing the second fight and came back and switched to the liver shots and put DC away in less than 2 minutes after losing 3 straight rounds was incredible. In their third fight, he started with those liver shots and would continue to batter and beat Cormier, showing his intelligence. He is the smartest heavyweight fighter of all time, and that's why he is the best, because intelligence rules over everything in the game of fighting, and Stipe has proven it by defending it more than anyone. Number 4, Anderson the Spider Silva. From Brazil, anyone who had the privilege of watching his title reign in the mid to late 2000s was truly blessed. One of the best strikers of all time, and what made him such a unique striker was his counter striking. He would let people throw punches and bunches, and he would catch them off guard and catch them coming on the outside of their punches and kick them straight in the face like he did Vitor Belfort. Such a disciplined fighter. He picked his shots carefully. He would bait people in and even dance around him and mock him at times. He did have a few boring fights where Dana White criticized him, myself included, when he fought Yushin Okami and Damian Maia. But his fights with Michael Bisping, Dan Henderson, Travis Lutter, Chris Lieben, some of the most amazing fights you'll ever see in the sport. Probably the greatest middleweight champion of all time. Not probably, definitely the greatest middleweight champion of all time, Anderson the Spider Silva. Number 3, Britain's own Michael the Count Bisping. For the better part of Michael's career, I could not stand him, and I was wanting him to lose every fight I watched him in. It took him a very long time to win me over, and the more I got educated about the sport, the more I became a fan of the Count. He is the cleanest of fighters who fought every steroid user you can imagine, from Anderson Silva to Dan Henderson to Vitor Belfort. That's right, he coined the phrase Vitor Belfort on Vitor Belfort, a man who actually took his eyeball. This man won the middleweight champion after competing for 15 years with one eyeball. He is the toughest of tough, the most baddest of bad, and I was so proud to become a fan of Michael Bisping. The more I learned about him, the more I watched his career evolve. His defense against Dan Henderson was bittersweet, as it was one of the worst knockouts I've ever seen in my life when he lost to Dan's hands. The number 2 spot is a man who got me into mixed martial arts, Randy the Natural Couture, aka Captain America, the All-American Greco-Roman wrestling champion turned MMA fighter, is inspirational in every sense of the word. When Joe Rogan said that man is my hero, I could totally relate. When he came out of retirement and smashed Tim Sylvia in the face in the first 10 seconds, knocking him to the ground, the jump on top and ride him out like a fucking bull for the rest of the 25 minutes was amazing. Randy Couture may have lost several fights in his career. It's only because he took the hardest fights possible. When he knocked out Chuck Liddell, it was unfathomable. Chuck Liddell was the KO artist, not Randy, and he put him to sleep. When he came out of retirement again and beat the up-and-coming Gabriel Gonzaga and beat his ass into a new time zone, it was one of my favorite fights I ever watched in my entire life. Randy Couture is absolutely legendary. My number 1 pick was the easiest pick on this list. Canada's own, from Montreal, Quebec, George Rush St Pierre. A true mixed martial artist in every sense of the word, straight down to his discipline and his respect for his opponents. He has striking, he has wrestling, he has jiu-jitsu, he has takedown defense. He has it all. He has everything you could want in a student to get out there and compete. He was one of the first people ever to wear suits to press conferences, just keeping it professional. His kickboxing got better and better with each fight, dropping Jake Shields with beautiful head kicks, Matt Hughes included. He is one of the most athletic fighters we've ever seen, and definitely the greatest of all time, fighting monstrous steroid users like Johnny Hendricks, who would fade into obscurity when the USADA steroid testing pool came into play. No joke, look it up. Johnny Hendricks terrorized the welterweight division. Soon as they started testing for drugs, he lost every bloody fight. Here he is, Superman punching dirty Johnny Hendricks in the head. Everyone who ever fought George just said he was on this complete other level, like nothing they've ever seen or witnessed in their life. The way he would cover ground with his Superman punch was absolutely incredible and explosive. He only ever lost to people named Matt. I always wanted to see him fight Matt Brown because he lost to Matt Hughes and he lost to Matt Serra. He avenged both those losses with authority. There is literally not enough good things I can say about the welterweight champ who had one of the best title reigns of all time. He won the welterweight strap twice, and then he would retire, come out 5 years later, move up in weight, and win the middleweight title over Michael the Count Bisping in one of the most awesome middleweight fights I've ever seen. George St Pierre is my #1 favorite mixed martial artist of all time. I want to thank you all for watching. If you like this video, please leave a like. And if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And I appreciate you watching my top 5s, top 10s, top whatevers. Thanks for watching, guys.